There we go. Bumping you guys up a bit. Lovely. Right.
Pump it up.
Pump it up. When you don't really need it, pump it up. Why do you get feel it? I don't understand the words. I can do one. Have you heard my Elvis Costello impression?
It's a bit like everybody's impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Elvis Costello interviews Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Go on. Trapper. It's clean.
Watching detectives. Ooh, it's so cute.
Losing 9mm.
Over Zoe, on his way. Over,
Shut up.
Today. Next time I show, it's Kevin Rowland. Put out away.
We got some old films, new films, any kind of shitty films. Recorded Tuesday night, so it's there in the morning. Least is a shaky ship, surprised he made it through the week. And then he turns his head and finds that Darren is snoring. Jim's on the other line, euphemisms all the time. While Mr. Rouse sits around, sticking his claws in. Elton's got the heebie-jeebie spinning, how he's doing wheelies. Winston's looking sheepish like he pissed on the floor again. All we want is a coronary impression. It's not narcolepsy if it's 1 in the morning.
Hello and welcome to the Black Dog Podcast, episode number 354. Ooh. 2 more, and then you can listen to one every day for a year.
You lucky people.
Why would you want to do that?
Why would anyone want to listen to the ones we've got?
Are we not at 400 yet?
No.
It
not
felt
yet.
like
Don't start that yet.
we
got a
feels like-
full year before 400.
Feels like we passed 400 about 300 episodes ago. Why are we not at 400 yet? I
The
demand to
Benjamin
know.
Button of podcasts, counting down. Yeah?
I'm Merlin. I'm living backwards through the podcast.
Merlin.
Oh, Merlin.
Well, we need one extra because episode 4 is missing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, actually, yeah. Should go to 401. That's when we count. It's like, in fact, maybe 400 is episode 4.
Actually, we've done more than 4. We've done 400 episodes.
If you want to talk about the specials and the podcasts which weren't numbered, then yeah, we probably have.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I'm just drinking my tea.
Oh. You drink that. I don't think the ladies and gentlemen at the back of the audience there quite caught that. Would you like to slurp that one again for us?
Yeah, sure.
People wonder why we never got into radio.
Anyway, hello. Welcome to episode 354 of the Black Dog Podcast. Welcome to Magic FM. I'm Lee.
I'm Jock from Dallas.
I'm not Jock from Dallas.
And I'm a little green thing.
And I'm a door-knocking rubber turtle.
Are you now?
Yeah. Dong dong. Hello.
Oh dear.
Fucking knock. I'm sorry. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Powder dry.
It's some
Looked
kind
around
of
the garden.
space-time warp.
What's that mean?
Exactly.
I don't know.
He doesn't look like a scientist, does he? Are we starting now? Are we going straight into it? Are we just going to give this film a? Are we just going into it right from the word go?
No, we're supposed to do how everyone's week was. Oh.
Okay, well, mine was fine. Lee, how was yours? Good? Yep. Okay, Jim, you too? Brilliant. Elton, fantastic. Thank you very much. Now the film.
I'm sorry. Let's start again. Oh.
What tea are you drinking?
I don't know. It's Jesus.
You know, I get a feeling that the Batman film would have turned out something like this had the Joker not actually fallen into a vat at Axis Chemicals, but had actually, ran through the Tate and Lyle factory and fallen in a fucking vat of sugar.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I've been holding that laugh in since this morning when I watched it. I was standing on the tube. Oh, man. Right, stop again. Anyway, we're going to see how everyone's week's been, and then we're going to review the daytime ended.
More like daytime television.
Anyway, but before we get onto that, stop. Before we get onto that, we're going to find out how everyone's week's been. Sorry, that's all. The fucking fork sticking out of his head.
Lee, there's someone at the door for you. What's that, Mr. Turtle? Avon's calling. He wants to know if you want to buy some pretty soaps of him.
I'm gonna need a second to compose myself.
Would you like to buy a toilet roll holder in the shape of a doll with a crocheted skirt?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
Oh,
he's selling 3 for £2.50.
Fucking hell. Right, let's start again. Let's just do this properly. So, anyway, we'll see how everyone's week's been. Oh, this is going to be a long one. We'll start with you, Jim. How was your week, sir? I'm going to turn my mic off because I just need to give myself a time to compose myself.
Fairly quiet, really. We did have plans to go and do various things over Easter, but as usual, because in Britain, having a bank holiday is the equivalent of a rain dance squared. I think it rained for 4 days solidly, so we stayed in the house and did Nout instead.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, that was actually quite good, as last week was fairly stressful with having a tooth out and it didn't heal very well. I had to go back to the dentist.
Oh.
And I was in a lot of pain for most of last week and feeling very grotty and generally annoyed with a great many things. So it was nice just stop for 4 days, sit around, eat chocolate, catch up on some podcast listening, play a few games, and generally not have to leave the house because we were fully stocked on nice food, wine, and chocolate.
Nice.
Fun things to do. So that works out very well in the end. It's kind of, oh, God, today, back to work. Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's actually a good thing. When the weather forces you to just do fuck all. I think that's not a bad thing at all, actually.
I actually feel 100% better from actually just doing nothing but read, play games, eat chocolate, loaf around, not get dressed.
That sounds great.
For a few days. That was brilliant.
Right.
Yes, actually, Easter does have its upside. But going into it, I was thinking, everyone through this tooth, it'll be over Easter where everyone's going to be fucking shut. I always have a love-hate relationship with Easter, because on one hand, it's kind of, it's time off, brilliant. But on the other hand, generally, the last few years, things have conspired where it's not convenient to have 2 bank holidays in a long weekend.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago when I had a plumbing leak and couldn't get a plumber for love nor money, I had no hot water over Easter. Shit like that. So I was anticipating a similar kind of dental trauma, but fortunately, that all worked out. So...
Oh, that's good.
So it's just really nice just to have a rest. And
your teeth situation is all better now, or is that?
Pretty much all here. It's still a little bit tender, as it was a big back molar that came out, but now it's kind of, it's healing up nicely. Good, sorted. Thank you.
Nice.
Done.
Cool.
But other than that, I did manage to actually watch a film that was actually fucking worse than the one we're reviewing tonight.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
What was that? Name and
It's a
shame.
1961 Roger Corman film called The Creature from the Haunted Sea. Now, I have a high tolerance for cheesy films and low-budget nonsense, particularly from vintage low-budget nonsense. But this was bad. This was really, really bad. It's one of Corman's very first films, and he made it because he had some days left over from filming another one. It's meant to be a comedy. It's absolutely awful. It's really bad.
And that's cool.
I watched it because I'm reviewing it as part of kind of it shall be out next month sometime on Creature from the Black Lagoon knockoffs, and this was kind of spoofing in part Creature from the Black Lagoon. However, instead of a nice latex costume, their monster was a poor bastard in a wetsuit covered in bin liners and Brillo pads.
Oh, boy.
With rubber gloves with pipe cleaners taped to the fingers to make claws.
Oh, shit.
And eyes that were made of tennis balls with smaller ping pong balls painted black stuck on them.
Wow.
So it looks like an aquatic version of Sweetums from the Muppets. It's awful. Trouble is, the monster doesn't appear till near the end, and that's the most funny thing about it. And the rest is just interminable bad acting and bad jokes and people doing fuck all on an island for 40 minutes.
Nice.
Awful, absolutely awful.
Sounds like a winner.
I was going to review it today, but I've just been sat down writing swear words instead, just to prepare for the review. So, there you go.
I hear all the best reviewers do that. That's that's the way to do it. Oh dear, cool. Well, I'll look forward to that then. And when do you reckon that episode's going to be out?
Maybe this time next month, I think. Maybe a bit sooner, maybe a bit later.
Awesome. Will that
Depends what other episodes get finished in the meantime.
I was going to say, is that an actual main episode or a Patreon special?
No, that's a main episode. I'm doing 3 kind of a little sort of mini series of 3 on kind of unofficial appearances by the Gill Man, where he turns up in things like the Monster Squad and some dodgy Mexican films, which is pretty bad. Cash-ins, and I've got a 3rd little wrap-up episode, I think, planned. But it might go in the second half. I'm not sure yet. Depends how long I bang on about Creature for the Haunted Sea. This is shit. Why did I watch it?
Yeah. How many aquatic shit puns can you get out? That's the thing.
Probably quite a few.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. Anything else, sir?
That'll do.
That'll do. Okay, fair enough. Then over to you then, Elton. How was your week, sir?
Okay, strap in. You ready?
Okay, we're ready.
Right. Finished the end of the effing world.
Right.
So Darren. We need to talk about this, but we can't talk about it here.
No. But did you like it?
Loved it.
Yeah. Same
Loved it.
Okay. Right.
It's almost as if someone writes themselves into a corner and then enjoys getting out of that corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I like about it.
All right then. You two want a room, or?
But do you agree it's going that sort of like season 2 can't come quick enough?
I'd be quite happy with season 1 and that's it.
One and done.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'd be really happy with just that.
Okay. Cool.
I think it ended perfectly for me.
Ooh.
And so it is like I said, when you write yourself into a corner, some people think about the corner before they write themselves into it, and then it's obvious on how they get out. This one, it's really not.
Yeah.
I don't think so anyway. So
it's just brilliantly written.
Good.
Really, really well written.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else? Went to the in-laws and parents this weekend, so spent some time down in me old stomping ground, etc., and had my very first go at virtual reality, or the new wave of virtual reality.
PlayStation 4 or Vive or Oculus?
This was PlayStation 4.
Okie dokie.
Ooh, which one did you have a go of on that? Because I found that it's particularly effective on the ones that I've had a go of.
Mm-hmm.
When you say what one did you ever go of? Are they different headsets?
No. What game I think he's talking about.
The games.
Oh, okay.
there.
Right. Well, first off, I was introduced because my kids have already played it, so they wanted their daddy to be scared the bejesus out of. And so they gave me Ocean Descent, which is a nice, easy game. It's a look-around game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a demo, really.
Yeah.
But fairly effective, and felt rather sick straight after I got off of it.
Yep.
It's really weird, especially going from the VR to the real world, because your VR screens are, 2 inches away from your eyes?
Yeah.
And then the real world is, it can be miles. And that's weird, especially when you're typing it out and saying, oh, I feel rather sick after doing that. And then you're looking at your hands going, are they real? That's really weird.
Don't tell him he's in a simulation. Don't tell him he's in a simulation. Don't tell him he's in a simulation. Don't tell him.
Coming out of the Oasis, it's weird.
Mr. McManus, you go by 2 names.
The blue pill or the red pill?
Yes. Yes. One has a life, lift engineering. The other is spent being tinfoil hat man.
Oh, tinfoil hat, thank you very much.
One of these lives has a future.
The other does not. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
So, Ocean Descent was really a good way to introduce me to it, to get all the headset set and find out where it sits on your head, and also get used to having something strapped to your bonds and strapped to your ears and looking around the room, and where you see other people doing it, and it's not that impressive on the screen, but once you're in there, it is really, really good.
Yeah.
What else did I do? The one that really... they all made me sick. But VR luge. So you're on a skateboard luging down...
Holy shit.
What can only be described as California hills, under trucks and in between cars and down an assault course. And it's really weird because where your head is, the visuals... You're looking down your body or your virtual reality body.
Yeah.
And it feels bizarre. It really does make you feel sick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really good. You have to move around the course by just moving your head left and right. And sometimes the calibration can be a bit off. So you do find yourself ramming into cars when you don't want to ram into cars, but setting up is all right. It's just... I don't think the technology's just there yet.
Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, go on.
I was going to say, the thing I find with VR after using it at work and using it at home, I found that the stuff that works best is the stuff where you're sitting in a chair and your controllers are doing the main moving. Your head is there for looking around. So things like Elite, where you're sitting in the cockpit of a spaceship effectively, or in the case of on the PS4, racing games where you're in the car. So there's one like Gran Turismo 4 VR or something like that, Gran Turismo VR, where you're actually sitting in the cockpit of an actual racing car driving. So the sense of movement doesn't feel so wrong. Because your movements are being steered by you, and you looking around is purely down to you looking around. But that's how you would feel in the real world. So stuff like that.
I had a go of Driver Club or Drivers Club.
Yeah,
and that was really, really good. I think everything's really good apart from we didn't have a steering wheel. If we had a steering wheel, then that would work really, really well. But you're just holding a controller in your hand, trying to steer with that. That's kind of off, and that's a bit laggy. That's always been a bit laggy with steering wheels anyway.
I'll tell you what, Elton.
Go on.
Right. You might need to actually prepare a whole tray of roast potatoes for this one, right? But, if you can, try copping hold of Alien Resurrection and giving that a go.
Isolation,
sorry. Alien Isolation. Give that a go.
Yes, I do want to give that a go now.
But make sure you've got some brown trousers on when you...
Make sure there's someone filming it.
Yeah.
Yes.
With audio.
Well, I'll be getting on to some other scary stuff in a minute anyway. So.
Go on now. Sorry, carry on, mate.
Okay, well, I did the luge and then had to come off for a little while because I was feeling a bit queasy. And then I did Resident Evil 7.
Oh, shut up, really?
Yeah. I only had a little go of it. Died pretty much within 5 minutes of starting it. And that was a case of just backing away from a man who didn't want to die after being shot in the head repeatedly. And that was really good. Walking around a creepy old house at night without a torch and noises going on, that's really good. I like that.
Nice. You actually
normally
did
that sort of stuff scares the shit out of me, but that was fun because you could. What I like about it is you tip your head and your visional. It's like looking around a corner, and you can look around a door before you go into that room. I love that. So yeah, I had fun with that. That was good. There was some gory moments that were right in your face as well, and I'm assuming that it's all 3D as well.
Yes,
it's like 3D screened.
Yes,
because it felt that way. I wasn't too sure. It's not just two screens in front of my eyes. It's the 3D effect as well.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. Because inside the app, inside the game, it's actually got effectively two cameras that are just offset slightly and both pointing at the same focal point, so they're actually effectively acting like your eyes.
Yeah. That was really good. There was some good effects on that. Once again, sometimes it's a bit ropey when you look down and you can see just your hand floating. You're like, oh, that's my hand, is it? Okay, not some creature's hand. But I'm sure they'll work out the kinks on that. And that maybe that's just me just nitpicking. But that was really good. But you can walk around using your head, but you also steer with one of the joysticks as well.
Yeah.
So you move forward with your left joystick, but you then have to increment turn left or turn right with your right joystick.
Yes.
And then that motion, when you're looking and then moving it and then looking, it can become a bit confusing to your brain, and then that's when you start feeling ill.
Yes, definitely.
But I'm sure after playing it a couple of times, and it'll be all right. It wouldn't be too bad. What else did I play? Rush of Blood. Now, this one might suit.
Was this on Pornhub?
Sorry?
Was this on Pornhub?
No.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
Yeah. Tappity tap tap tap. Boo. We seem to have lost Elton's. Yeah.
This game's called Rush of Blood, and I only played one game or one level of this. Now, the whole game might not be like this all the way through, but it's on a roller coaster. It's like a haunted village type roller coaster, all set at night, and you got a ghost screaming at you, screaming in your face, and that's where the jump scares come from as well. And you have mannequins coming towards you. You have to shoot them because you get the two little wands which you can act as guns, which is really good because as soon as you've got them in the VR world looking around, you've got two guns in your hand. You're like, wow, that is really cool, man. That's really cool. And it's super smooth as well. So I was really impressed with that. But yeah, there are some jump scares, and look over there, and then all of a sudden you're looking over there and you got a ghost right in your face screaming at the top of its voice. You're like, shit, a brick. So yeah, that was
nice.
Everyone around me just giggling at me, going, "Oh God!"
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they love a bit of that. Put the helmet on, and then immediately the cameras come out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think there was a couple of bits of that. So I don't know if there was any footage of me doing that. That would have been a perfect one. But yeah, that was good. I think that suited it more because you were sat in a chair.
Yeah.
Or I was sat in a chair, and you're in a roller coaster locked in. So the camera movement per se forwards and sideways is done by the computer itself.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is look around.
Yeah.
So that was quite cool. And one of the last one, it wasn't a VR. I was introduced to a game called Quiplash, or Quiplash 2, which was quite interesting, and I'm definitely going to get this. This isn't a VR one though. This is a game where it's like a quiz game,
right?
And instead of all having controllers, you link all your phones up to the computer or to the PlayStation on the same network.
Yep.
And then it asks you a question. It's all like funny quiz, stupid little quiz things, but it's quite amusing. And you get to put in your own answers, and then you'll vote for your own vote for the answers, the battle against each other. And it's all done on your phone.
Yeah, and then it sends everything to Facebook.
Did it come through Facebook?
No, I'm joking.
Thank goodness. No, I didn't think it did, but that was really good. That worked really, really well. There was no lagging or anything like that, and I reckon that would be a real good party game.
Nice.
I didn't have any clue about that whatsoever, and it's pretty cheap. I think it's like 20. I think it's 12 quid at the moment. It was 24 quid.
You can do the same on. Was it You Don't Know Jack?
Yeah,
that one. They've got the same on that option with the phones. Yeah. You can use the app on that one.
Nice. Cool.
Well, this isn't even an app. This is just you log into your network.
Yeah.
And it just does it, and it's really, really good. I was really surprised on how well it worked. And it was fun. It was presented really well as well. It wasn't too cheesy, but it wasn't Chris Tarrant cheesy-esque. But it had hints of that.
Nice.
But in a fun way.
Okay. Cool. And how did you do in the quiz, if I may ask? I
came second in the first game and won the second game. Yeah.
Good man. Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
So
all my pithy remarks won the day.
Nice. Cool. Anything else, sir?
No, that was it.
Excellent. Okie dokie. Well, then, in which case, we shall move on to you, Mr. Barnard. How was your week, sir? Okay.
Mostly good, but it's had a bit of a dip.
Had a bit of a dip, did it?
Had a bit of a dip.
Oh.
I'll start off with a good thing.
Go on, give us a good.
We'll go up on the roller coaster to the top of the roller coaster.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's going up the hill there. Here we go.
Yeah.
Traveling
I'm getting the visual metaphor. Yeah. It's going well.
And the first thing I did with my week was I went to see Pacific Rim 2 Uprising.
Right.
Or Pacific Uprising, Pacific Rim Uprising, whatever you want to call it. Up your rising.
Carry on rimming.
Yeah, carry on rimming.
Carry on rimming. Yeah. Pacific Rim, the alternate title for Shape of Water.
Sid, get your weapon out. So
Sally Hawkins goes Pacific Rimming.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I liked it. Oh, it was good.
Yeah?
But, it's it carries on from about 9 years after the first film. And I think it takes it in enough of a slightly different direction to make it an interesting sequel.
Right.
So it doesn't just go down the same route. There is a reason for things happening, and the kaiju have all now been completely stopped from coming through to our reality at the start of this film. So 9 years after the whole thing was closed up, you get to see how the world's carried on from there and how it's built itself back up again. And there are still Jaegers doing their thing. There are still people being trained as Jaeger pilots.
For a threat that doesn't exist anymore.
Right, they don't actually specify why they're being trained.
Okay.
But they are still being trained. There is still academies, and there are still sort of people still going through the same thing of finding your phase twin,
your soulmate,
yes, that you can link up with and whatever.
Yeah.
But I really do recommend seeing this on the big screen.
Yeah,
especially for the first Jaeger that you encounter in the film. It's this blue one, great big fucking thing. It is fucking massive.
Yeah,
absolutely fucking massive. This Jaeger, and it's got all pointy bits on it and stuff like this. It's the sort of quite a famous one, and it's what it's doing is it's being used by the actual I can't remember what the actual Jaeger force is called now, but they use it to stop people from actually building and using unlicensed Jaegers, because there is a problem with that now. You've got things like criminal gangs building them and stuff like this.
Right. Okay.
So it's a sort of thing that's on the increase, because they've got dockyards where they that haven't been completely closed down. People going to nick parts of old Jaegers and put them together.
Okay, I know I haven't seen this film, and I don't want too many spoilers. But hearing that, my first thought is, how do you manufacture secretly a 400-foot high robot?
They're not necessarily 400 foot high. These are smaller versions you can get and stuff like that. They're bits, the ones that have been cobbled together from spare parts.
Okay.
But that isn't the main drive of the story at all. That's just a very small aspect of it, and it's used to introduce a character into it.
Okay.
But yeah, in general, lots of buildings getting destroyed, shit being fucked up.
Presumably, presumably the kaiju come back.
Well, you see it in the trailer anyway. It's in there. It's on the fucking poster.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, thanks for that. Had they kept that quiet, then...
Well, I think you'd have to presume it's like having something that says, I don't know, Dracula on the poster title, and you think, okay, so there's vampires in this. Fuck, why did anyone tell me?
Exactly. But in the trailer, you do see robots fighting against robots. That's the thing. There is a reason for stuff happening. I can't really go into it, but you'll see when you see the film.
Right.
And there's another factor involved in all of this as well that's been introduced that carries on from the last film. There's what can we say? There's a byproduct of what happened in the first film.
Don't say anything.
No, I'm not, but it links the two films together, apart from John Boyega's character, who is the son of Idris Elba's character.
Yes. Who
isn't like a pilot in this one. He's now trying to live the high life, but he's doing it through very dodgy means.
Okay. All right,
it does all come together, and
I'm not prejudging, but I've not heard good things. So you're the first positive review I've heard.
I've only heard one duff review.
Yeah?
Yeah. Everyone else I know that's on Facebook has gone, really like that.
Okay. Oh, no, sorry, yeah, Gordon on the Facebook group.
Yeah, there's a few other people I know saw it and thought, wow, yeah, that was good fun.
Okay.
And it is. It's not high art like the first one, but it's still,
We'll see.
Still does the business.
Cool. Okay.
So big Jaegers are big.
Big Jaegers are big.
Big Jaegers.
That's the takeaway, is it?
Big Jaegers are big.
Cool. Anything else?
So now we come to the dip.
The dip on this visual metaphor of the roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yes.
As we go through life, technology, becomes increasingly more sophisticated.
Yes.
And that includes ways that we actually, perform transactions in shops. And we've got to the stage now where we've got cards where we can just touch against the sensor and that's it. It takes money out of your account. And everything.
We are indeed living in the future.
We are. So it can throw one.
Yeah.
It can throw one's, shall we say, attention. When a shop that is supposed to be, a technology shop, PC World, right, sells, modern day computers, stuff like this. Apparently, they're still living in the last century.
Right.
When it comes to making transactions.
Okay.
Because instead of having fancy little touch devices, no, you've got to put your card. It says insert your card or swipe it on their card readers. It's like,
right.
I beg your pardon. I look up and I'm expecting to see a Victorian gentleman with one of those waxed moustaches, a monocle and a top hat going, if you wouldn't mind completing the transaction, sir.
Answer me these questions 3.
Exactly. I'm like, this is antiquated. I'm fully into this century now. I'm fully down with the tech.
You are down with the tech.
Yeah. So I'm used to just touching my card, right, on a thing.
Euphemism.
Yes. I used to touch my card on the centre, it paying for it, and me putting it straight back in the work without me taking my fingers off of my card. Right?
Right.
So when I get told I've got to put it into the card reader and take my hand off it, type a number in, right? Okay? I don't automatically go back and my brain doesn't say go back and collect your card. No, it doesn't. And that's exactly what I did. I left it sitting in the fucking card reader and walked straight out the shop. Went through Woking one-way system.
Right.
He's driving the car. We get into Woking Town Centre, go into the big shopping centre in there, finally find a parking spot. I get out. Something makes me check my wallet. And yes, I've left my card sitting in a card reader. This is Easter I think it was it? This was Good Friday, right?
Right.
So the shop was open.
Yeah.
And that, but trying to get in contact with PC World in Woking.
Well, they haven't invented telephones yet.
Well, no, you go through to a general number, and then it goes, would you like to speak to a store in Aberdeen? Would you like to speak to the store in Aberystwyth? Would you like to speak to the store in... And it goes through it alphabetical order, so it's like, no,
and you're in Woking.
Exactly. And it's like, what am I going to do? Somebody could be using my card to just buy all their fucking shopping with it, you know? And I've only just been paid, so that could be like I get back into the account.
That could be pounds.
I could be like £2.50 is left in the account and 7p in a button. There you go, sir. That's what you've got in your account, sir. That's what you've got left.
Okay. So you.
I phoned up Santander and I got them to put a block on the card and also send me a new one. Later on, when we finally got out the shopping centre, I went back there just as the store was closing, and the guy said, yes, we do actually have your card. So I tried phoning Santander back up to try and get my card re-enabled. Like, oh, no, you can't do that now, sir. No. Because we've sent you a card. So therefore, had you just blocked it, we could have unblocked it. But because you've blocked it and had a card sent out, now we can't do it. It's like, well, why not? Because you cancelled the other card that I'd ordered last. But
technically speaking, you could be the person now on the other end of the line who has actually found the card and is saying, don't block it because I'm honestly Mr. Barnard, sir.
But that's when they bring out the security questions, you see. That's why they have security questions, because then you can prove who you are. You see?
It's a bit of an emergency stop on the whole thing, though, when you go, new card.
Yeah, but it's just like suddenly, you know... goes over. So basically, my point is, you don't. I suddenly couldn't buy anything. I've had to cancel my Prime account on Amazon because that was due yesterday. So before it started bombarding my account with requests for money, right, or trying to get into that card and not, I've had to cancel that. And there's one or two other things I've had to cancel my card. I can't order my bloody Oyster card online now. I've actually got to go to a window with cash in my hand.
Cashed monies.
Yes, with my top hat, with my stovepipe hat on and my monocle and my waxed moustache. Up to one of those, up to the teller's window with the bronze metal bars on it.
Excuse me, I would like to exchange the following for the Oyster card services. A sheep.
I would like a monthly token, sir, for the steam train services. That's what I would like. And here is a bag of gold for your good self.
Please accept in trade and barter the following:
a banker's credit note,
some homemade jam,
some preserve, sir,
some fully grown punnet of tomatoes.
Exactly. So there's that. I can't order anything from Amazon because I've got no fucking card to go through now. I've got like sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say. So what this really comes down to, this really ultimately brass tacks boils down to is you're losing your fucking mind.
I'm losing my mind, right? Because now they've had to send the card, right? So I phoned them up. When I phoned them up to ask about this new card, I said on the Friday, no, this is the thing, right? I changed my address 2 days before. And I thought to myself, right, okay, they're going to send it to where I'm living now. And no. Sorry, sir, you've got to wait about a month for the computers to realise that we've changed the address on your account before it will send the fucking cards there. And I'm like, I really have taken a walk down the fucking time tunnel, haven't I? That's it. I've ended up back in the 60s again.
You've jumped the tracks out of the 21st century.
Exactly. I'm sorry, sir, but the ticker tape hasn't updated yet. The punch cards that we used need to be sent to Newcastle by Tortoise.
Next week, our film will be Brazil.
Exactly. But this isn't the only thing. Because now I've changed my address and I've moved, I've got no post with the new address on it, right? My passport is out of date, so I can't use that as photo ID. And I've got no driving licence because I never had a driving licence. So I've got no photo ID at all.
On the upside, you can't prove who you are, so you shouldn't have to pay any tax. You are the invisible man.
I am.
You are off the grid.
I am. I could be
are.
off the grid.
You are. You've gone behind the walls of reality. You are now outside of the Matrix.
I am John Connor.
He wasn't in the Matrix.
No, but he went off the grid, didn't he, in Terminator 3?
Was he?
Yes, he did. He was the littlest hobo at the beginning of that film.
I'd love to see a Terminator film with the littlest hobo as John Connor.
There's a voice keeps on calling me. Sung by Elvis Costello. He writes the theme tune. He sings the theme tune.
Let's not do that again. No. Anyway, so basically,
so now I'm just waiting for this card to turn up so they can tell me, I'm sorry, sir, you haven't got enough ID to actually receive the card. Well, how about sending it to my own new address? Well, yeah, we can do that for you in 2018 or 2022 when the bank computers finally catch up with the information we put into them last week.
Look on the bright side, though. All the money you'll save.
All the money I'll save.
Yeah, because you can't spend fuck all.
Actually, no, I can't. Actually,
Is this your excuse for Friday when we're down the pub with the orgs?
No, I'll actually have money for that.
No, okay, that's on record, ladies and gentlemen.
Did have
that's
some
record.
money. I've managed to attain some cash.
For that very purpose.
For that very purpose. I've gone to my offshore account. My man Jeeves went and collected a bag of cash with a big pound sign on the side of it and has given me the burlap sack full of pound notes. Yes, he has. Yeah, good man. Take this.
He has just arrived from the Caymans.
He has,
His offshore account. So, okay.
So there was that. Anyway, the last thing for this
Where
week.
are we on the Darren roller coaster?
We're going up again now.
We've hit the ditch and we're up now.
We're going up
okay.
Again. I'm a fan of the songs of Kate Bush. And I went to a tribute act called Cloudbusting, who were doing, was it a tribute to the 40 years of music for Kate Bush? Mm-hmm. And I have to say, the girl that's actually the woman that does the lead vocals for that band, I think is the closest I'm going to come to listening to Kate Bush live ever.
Wow.
I'm not joking. She was absolutely fucking spot on.
Yeah, she
really was. Yeah, I've never heard anybody mimic Kate Bush's voice like her.
Bloody hell!
She was really, really good, and she did. She did the. Oh, I see. It was the 40th anniversary of the release of The Kick Inside, which was Kate Bush's first album.
Yes.
So they did the entirety of that album, and then they did a few of the more famous hits as well. So, we got Wuthering Heights, Man with the Child in Their Eyes, in His Eyes, Cloud Busting, that sort of thing. Yeah, just hit all the notes every single time.
Nice.
She was amazing. She really
was.
Where
did you see that?
That was in the Electric Theatre in Guildford.
Electric Ballroom?
No, Electric Theatre.
Oh, right, okay.
In Guildford.
Sorry.
So, it was me and Ree went to see that, and it was just a really
nice,
amazing night. Really, really good. So, anybody out there, anybody who's a Kate Bush fan, if you see an advert for Cloudbusting, the group tribute act, I'd say, give them a shot.
Well worth a look.
Yeah, I think the tickets were only about £15 each.
Nice.
As well. So, yeah, and it is a really small venue, so no matter where you sat, you really got a good view of the stage.
Cool.
So, yes, thumbs up to both of those.
Okay,
very much so.
Awesome. Okay. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Well, my week, it's been Easter, innit?
Yes.
I was 90% of my week was pretty much like Jim's, insofar as the time off was essentially just sitting indoors because it was pissing with rain. Did go down to Brighton, which was good, with the kids on the Sunday. Mm-hmm. That was good. Easter Sunday, though, also fell on April Fool's Day. So I sat up on the Saturday and took out nearly 20 odd grapes and individually wrapped them in little bits of bako foil for the kids. April Fool's Day and Easter Sunday. Happy Easter, motherfuckers.
You evil fucking genius.
And then on top of that, we had some Maltesers bunnies, yeah, the little chocolate bunnies, yeah. I spent a full hour carving 4 slices of carrot to look like Easter Bunny Maltesers and wrapping it as well.
You nasty man.
Did that, wrapped it all up in silver foil, did all the clues, the Easter egg hunt thing all around the house. They got them, yeah?
Yeah.
And I nearly was the first man to die being pummeled by carrots and grapes when the kids worked it out. Yeah. Fuck you, Dad. Fucking eat the carrot yourself. Yeah. But I was very proud. Yeah. I was up until 1 a.m. doing that shit. That was quite cool. Didn't kill myself once, so that was good. And then, then we did the down to Brighton. That was quite cool. Nice afternoon down there. What else? Finished Jessica Jones. Watched the whole of Jessica Jones.
What did you think of the new season?
I liked it. I know it's turned a few people off, and some people haven't liked it, and some people have, and that's fine. Don't know quite where it was going to go after, sort of like you've had the Defenders and you've had the first Jessica Jones, which had such a cracking villain in terms of David Tennant's character. This one, to me, felt more like they were rushing to get it out. And the first 3 or 4 episodes were just... They had a framework, which was essentially to find out the origin of Jessica's powers in a sort of Luke Cage style.
Right, so what you're telling me is you've just done the equivalent of me saying, I've watched the first 3 episodes of this new Jessica Jones, and I just felt as though it was a bit of a... squib, and you go, but if you'd watched episode 4...
No, because I'm not saying it gets much better. I'm just saying that, for me, it becomes more... From about episode 3 or 4 onwards, it becomes more of a character thing. Yeah. And it's more Jessica's relationship with certain characters and the way that... in those... Okay, this is going to be a bit niche, but in those episodes of Babylon 5, going way back... where nothing much happens, but you're left thinking, this character's made a terrible, terrible mistake.
Yes.
And nothing much has actually happened. And that happens repeatedly throughout the whole second half of Jessica Jones Season 2. There's lots of characters doing what they think is the right thing for utterly the wrong reason and resulting in things which are quite disastrous.
Right.
But purely on a personal level, it's gone from the first Jessica Jones, which is kind of this supervillain on the rampage, to the supervillain on the rampage in this one kind of gets not dealt with, but certainly addressed quite early on, and then basically it becomes a character thing, and your mileage will vary on how satisfying you found it. I personally thought it was good. The only thing that I didn't like was I think I mentioned this last week, was that there's a character which is a sort of rival detective.
Yeah.
And they bring him in, and he was clearly going to be the main antagonist of the show. Mm-hmm. But about 3 episodes in, they just go, nah, fuck it, he's really not working. Let's just move him out of line of sight. And then every time he turns up from there on in, it's like an unfunny Inspector Clouseau. You completely forget he exists. And then all of a sudden, he'll just turn up, opening a door and go, "Ha-ha, it's me. Remember me? I'm the human..."
It's me, Leclerc.
Exactly. And he'll do something utterly ridiculous, and you'll just be like, or utterly ineffectual. Like, once I get hold of all your papers, I'll sue you, or something. And you're like, what? Who cares? And it goes to a point where you're just sitting there going, really? Are we going to do this? And I literally found myself rolling my eyes and sighing like a car's tyres deflating every time this guy appeared, because it was just like, this is just filling time in an episode. Literally, it's like, the episode is going to end in 5 minutes' time, but this is a natural end for the Jessica thread, or the thread with Malcolm, or the thread with anyone else in the show apart from this bloke. And then all of a sudden this bloke will turn up and go, "Haha, I have decided I'm going to do this." And you're like, oh, he's in it. Oh, I forgot about him. Oh, here he is again. Oh, now he's waving some forms about. Great.
Yeah.
And then, Jesse will go, I don't give a fuck, and he'll just kind of leave again for 2 episodes, and then he'll reappear again, and you're like, oh, shit, is he still around? I thought that'd gone away. And it's just every time it just felt like they had 10 minutes spare. Oh, we got 5 pages we've got to fill. I'll bring him back in then. All right, then, fine. And he'll turn up and just go, you've punched me, so I'm going to sue you. I'm going to work with this person instead. And you're like, right, and then they keep doing it, and they bring him back in one moment episode, and you're just like, oh, dude, just fuck off. It's the same equivalent. I tell you what, it's the same equivalent as in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Suddenly blaming the formation of the entire Empire on a casting vote by Jar Jar Binks. The whole season just pivots on one thing this guy does, and you just go, really? He's done nothing throughout this entire season, and he does one thing, and you're now trying to convince me that this is the reason he was in it all along. Fuck off. But apart from that, I actually quite enjoyed it. The show.
Very nice.
Anyway, what else? Yeah, I've been torturing myself playing Mass Effect Andromeda, which I got for pretty much nothing. I've now completed 3 whole planets. Completed. Ooh. And I mean completed, like nothing left to do on those planets, which is the equivalent.
So are you into it then?
No, not really. I'm just determined to see it to the end to say that I've done it this time. But, I spent the whole of yesterday doing that. Like literally it's like the computer game equivalent of picking up pins. You're sure there is something else to do, and you know that if you miss it, you're going to be like, fuck. There's one around us, and it's just it's video game pins pickup. I'm still not impressed with it. I'm not hating it as much, but then I think I made my peace with that last year.
Do you know what? You really aren't. I mean, last year people complained about it wasn't selling that game to me, and you're still not selling it to me.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'll tell you what, once I've finished with it, because it literally cost me next to absolutely zero.
Yeah.
I'll lend it to you. You can have a little go of it, and it'll cost you nothing.
Oh, cool. All right. I'll give it a go for that.
Yeah, give it a go for nothing. So, yeah. Though I have been playing Super Hot.
Oh, yes. That came out as a freebie.
Yeah, which came out as a freebie. Well worth a little go if you just feel like being like an absolute badass and having a bit of metaphysical, am I in the machine? Am I not in the machine? Yeah, this will be a great one for you, Elton, with the I've got my VR helmet on and I don't understand what's real anymore. Because it does have a moment where it kind of does that and it just goes, right, okay, fine. You want to carry on playing this game? I'm going to fuck with your head. And sure enough, that's exactly what it does. But it is great fun. It's like a first-person shooter, but everything is frozen in time, and it's only when you move does time move forward.
And it's not as easy as it sounds. It really isn't.
No. So you're sort of standing still, and everyone's frozen in time, but moving extremely slowly. And if you look left and right, or up and down, that's fine. But if you actually move your body physically, then time moves as you move. And so you get into these positions where you can start doing some really mad acrobatic stunts. So like the other night, I basically nicked someone. I literally punched some guy in the face, picked his samurai sword up from midair as he flew across the table, grabbed it, and then literally threw it through the face of someone else and sort of off to the left of me. Yeah. And then it replays it all for you in real time once you've done it, once you've done a level. And you see it all happen in real time. And it's like you've literally done the whole level in 3 seconds, but it's taken you an hour and a half to play.
I was
mad.
On the level with the bar in it, and I remember hiding behind a pillow, throwing a bottle at the bloke behind the bar and leaping over the bar and fucking punching him down as I do it. It's just, I can't do that in any other game.
No. And then a shotgun goes up in the air because he's fallen over. You grab the shotgun, turn around, shoot another guy through a door, and then all of a sudden throw the unloaded shotgun at his mates. Then you basically dive back over the bar, and then all of a sudden go around a corner, and there's a pole on a wall and you pull that off the wall and you smack another guy in the face, and when his pistol goes up in the air, you grab that from midair, shoot his two mates behind him, and then what you do is you duck down, grab a bottle and throw another one in his face, and then run over to a fucking billiard table, pick up a billiard ball and kill another guy with a 8 ball. All in 7.5 seconds once it plays it back to you.
It's like the video equivalent of John Wick.
It is. You literally become CG John Wick. Yeah, it's quite amazing. So that was quite fun. I completed that.
What was that called again? Sorry?
Super Hot.
Yeah.
It really is. It isn't like anything else you've played, I'll give you that. But if you've played first-person shooters, you'll literally have an instinctive knowledge of what to do, but it's only when you stop moving and everything freezes in place because you've stopped moving, and you're like, oh, that's interesting. So I can see there's a guy over there, and there's a guy over there, and there's another guy coming around the corner from behind a car, and he's got a gun, he's got a bottle, and this guy's got a knife. Well, okay, I'll take the guy out with the gun first. So then you sort of turn and then run forward, take the guy out with the gun before he can load it, and.
Actually, if you pull the trigger on your gun, it sends time forward slightly as well.
Oh, yeah. And I even got an achievement for shooting 2 bullets out of the air.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because you can see bullets hanging in the air.
Coming towards you. If you stop moving, the bullets have stopped moving as well. So everything freezes. Yeah, so I shot the bullets
You can see
out.
the air trails, sort of like how it messes the air up as the bullets are coming towards you as well, so you can follow the trail of the bullets.
But there's also a whole subplot of you actually, this is a simulation dropped into the world by a artificial intelligence, which is very weird. But anyway, well worth a look. What else? Movies watched? No, I haven't watched any.
No.
Apart from what we're going to watch, what we're going to talk about now.
I've not watched any weird ones on Netflix either.
Oh,
short films. I watched some short films this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple of sort of like
horror shorts probably.
No, they're sci-fi shorts that were on YouTube. They do sort of like the 5-minute ones.
Oh yeah,
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
One called The Revenant, which is about a bloke in a battle suit trying to find a power supply for his battle suit.
Oh yeah.
Which really I'm pretty sure it was just a tech demo for their CG.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
Yeah,
because it made absolutely no sense whatsoever. So it's just like, oh, look what I can do with my computer graphics. There we go.
Yeah, well, Oh, that was the other thing I did. Just reminded me.
Yeah.
Today, another reason why I just need a bloody good laugh.
Go on then.
Right, I actually had to Google this back up. I decided to get back in and do a bit more drawing today.
All right.
And I thought, well, you know what? I want to draw a Judge Death. Yeah? And using, see it when you see the was it Carl Urban Judge Dredd? They've tried to make it a bit more real, haven't they? They've tried to make it a bit more solid. So I thought, well, I'll tell you what, why don't I try and go for a sort of slightly more realistic, cadaverous looking Judge Death. So I've been doing these how to draw YouTube videos where they're sort of giving hints and tips, because I'm trying to get back into it, trying to jumpstart it with YouTube videos. And one of the things they say is look for reference, which is, I should know that. I fucking used to do it in cartoon all the time. But you look for reference. So I thought, well, I know what I'll do. I'll look for cadavers and long limbs and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I ended up falling down at lunchtime down a Google search rabbit hole where I ended up with Marfan syndrome.
I actually know someone who's got Marfan syndrome.
Really?
Yeah. Now, what they say is with Marfan syndrome, I do believe that your life expectancy is up to the age of 40.
Are you okay? So what started off as my conversation is now telling you you're going to guilt me into this, are you?
No. It's just he's lived well past that.
Oh, well.
Now, so it's just he's case in point. It's kind of like with the actual syndrome. What it does is it literally eats all the fat off your body, so you don't float, and he sinks like a stone as well. He's been in the swimming pools and stuff like this. He can't float at all. He's just, that's it. He just doesn't go swimming anymore.
Oh,
But yeah, it makes you, as you say, tall, thin, very thin.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's kind of pulled the pin on my conversation, really, a bit.
Sorry, dude.
That's okay. Suffice to say, don't Google it, and don't Google it with plus cadaver, because I tell you what, you might end up with an awful lot of Judge Death reference, but you might not necessarily want to go to sleep for a very long time. Because I didn't. I wanna just sit in a very, very bright room with the end of sort of Who Framed Roger Rabbit playing. Smile, darn yes, smile, CBeebies, bright sunshine, and Teletubbies, and hug myself for a while.
Yes.
Yeah. On a light down note, let's talk about this piece of shit movie. Yay! The day that time ended. The day that entertainment died. Let's do that then.
Ooh, we're watching a new movie we've never seen before. I'm buttering my nipples and waxing my ass. Roll up the Mystery Monica film. Roll up for the Mystery Monica film. Roll up masturbation for the Mystery Monica film. Roll up for the Mystery Monica film. The Mystery Monica film is waiting for us to hit play. Going to watch it today. What will we say? Hey Pablo, I need a heroin needle and a watermelon.
Yes, indeed. I think we all need one, to be honest.
I think it would have been good actually having one before watching this film.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, it tells you a lot. It tells you a lot. Wikipedia, the font of all knowledge, a website which, as we have mentioned many times on this podcast, can be so huge that it literally gives us too much information. Including like Star Trek: The Motion Picture, getting right down to like Starfleet socks specifications. And right, here we go. Here's the whole Wikipedia for the day that time ended. The Day That Time Ended is a 1980 independent science fiction film that stars Jim Davis, Christopher Mitchum, Dorothy Malone, and was directed by John Bud Cardos. It was nominated for a Saturn Award for the Best Supporting Actress for Marcy Lafferty. The film was originally titled...
Marcy Lafferty?
Yeah, I think that was the lady Beth, the mum. Anyway.
Right. Okay.
Everything's going to be all right. I feel it. I have spoken to them.
I feels it in my waters.
Yeah, and I feels it in my bones.
In it.
Dun, 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 dun,
You know I loves ya. You know I always will.
And my mind's made up by the way that I feel. Oh, yeah.
It's the Bromley version, that is.
No beginning, be no end.
I live in a la vida loca.
Where?
I live in a la vida loca.
Where's that dog? Anyway, right. So the film was originally titled Earth's Final Fury and was changed to Vortex, which was considerably more likely to sell tickets. But the final title became The Day Time Ended for unknown reasons. The film is 80 minutes long. That's the entire wiki.
It's a film.
Yes. And then the funniest bit is down in the running time in the box out, it says it's 79 minutes long, so it couldn't even get that right. So, its budget is $600,000. That's it. That's all we know. We don't even know how much it's made. Nothing. We don't know anything.
Oh.
IMDb doesn't know anything. IMDb's trivia said that this was Jim Jock Ewan Davis's final feature film. So this was after he left Dallas.
Really?
Mm.
Wow.
I hope he didn't leave Dallas. Hey, I've got an offer to be in an Asian motion picture. Do you losers?
Yeah.
I'm in the next Star Wars.
Yeah. I'm going to be in the next Star Wars. Oh my God, I'm in the Atacama Desert on my own and a horse. What the fuck am I doing here? The other bit of trivia. Sorry, here we go. closing credits. Now, this is actually spelt correctly, and I'm not misreading this. This is one of the pieces of trivia.
Yeah.
The events, characters, and firms depicted in this photo play are fictitious, and any similarity to actual persons, living or dead, or actual firms is purely coincidental.
Photo play. We really have gone back to the Victorian era.
Yeah.
This week, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly.
The day that time went backwards.
The day that time just came to die.
All the simulacra of the thespians appearing in this animated daguerreotype.
Yes. Mr. Lumiere will be on shortly to explain his processes.
Yes, I especially liked the part in this film when said David saw homunculus knocking on his door. He said, "You can keep a knocking, but you can't come in."
Oh, no, he was in the shed.
Oh, he was in the shed. He was in the man cave.
It was Dorothy Malone of the Clan Malone who opened the door to the Turtlezilla.
Yes. And said, "Oi, you, bugger off.
Yes.
Get off my land."
Anyway, so, yeah, that's it. That's the trivia. That's it. Done, dusted. Whole 9 yards. But not the whole 9 yards. Yeah. Oh, there is a full review on Something Awful. If you want to go look at that, somethingawful.com/movie-reviews/day-time-ended. It is most amusing. So, who wants to go first? Because we haven't seen, none of us have seen this film. I mean, we should, in theory, just go round the table in order. So I guess Elton. Huzzah! You're going to say you liked it, aren't you?
No, I'm not. No.
Oh, well, that's okay. We're still friends then.
I don't know what happened here. I don't know what happened. I got all confused. And every single scene is like a scene out of a different film.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's kind of put together like a jigsaw puzzle. But you know when kids put jigsaw puzzles together, that doesn't matter if they go together. They just mash the shit out of each other's and put it in there. And then, they've made a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
And this is what happened here.
Yep.
There are no words.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to steal your thunder.
No,
that
it's dude.
Fucking bit earlier on that we mentioned.
The fucking turtle.
Fucking hell.
Excuse me, madam, would you like to buy some dishcloths?
Hello.
What gets me, though? She goes, "Oh, that'll be your father." He's so shit, he can't open the door for himself. He has to knock to be let into his own house. There's not even
a knock.
Hello, madam. Would you like to purchase a copy of The Watchtower and let Lord Jesus into your life? Oh my
The
God.
bit I got confused in, because I was watching it and nothing was really happening. Yeah, you had the occasional green little snotty alien flandering around. It reminded me very much of the holiday special from Star Wars, where they had that all superimposed thing where Lumpy was getting a hard on watching these Floella Benjamin fuck around and sing. And you're like, what the fuck? It was very much like that. But when these big moldy plastic space aliens came out of nowhere, the first thing I could be reminded of was the Chewits advert. And that's
Yes, I remember that.
what it reminded me of.
Chewier than 100-story block of flats.
It reminded me of the creatures in the game in the Millennium Falcon.
Oh, good Lord, yes. Except
Why? Well, the pieces don't normally come and knock at your door. That's why.
Well, I have
What
put...
was he doing? I'm sure he had a bunch of flowers and he was like licking his hand and then wiping it in his hair and then knocked on the door. What the fuck?
Literally, like, must present myself correctly. Is the fork?
Yes, not bad breath.
Is the fork in the top of my head looking down? Is it fine? Have I slipped it down correctly?
Excuse me, madam. Have you considered getting double glazing? For I am from a reputable company from the future or the past. I don't know what is going on here. I'm not sure which one I am, actually.
Yeah, it would be funny if at the end of the film they all just rode into that crystal city from Zardoz and literally found like the whole place populated by those turtle monsters all with forks in their heads.
It would be that. I'm from a time when we accept bread and butter pudding as currency. Is that the case here? I appear to have made a faux pas.
I think that could be one of the problems with it. It just didn't explain itself enough all the way through the movie. It was as if it was a mystery in itself. There was no end goal to this thing.
It wasn't fucking Annihilation.
There was just no end goal whatsoever, and I just couldn't see what it was trying to accomplish. And then at the end, they go, "Well, I think we found a better way of life." How the fuck do you know? You haven't seen anything. There could be fucking face-eating monsters over there, and you're like, "Yeah, this is going to be good. This is going to be really good." It just doesn't mean anything. This film doesn't mean anything. It's like having a jelly and a little piece of shit underneath the jelly, and you can see through the jelly to the shit, and you're like, I don't understand what this is.
It's pretty much summed up by that surfer dude, little 6-inch eye alien, just kind of gliding around the house doing mime gestures. You just look at it and you go, "What am I looking at? What is this in my face? I don't understand." And
then was it a Kodak camera coming through the window? What?
Is that the same as the flying vacuum cleaner looking for its attachments?
Yes. Yeah. That can phase through glass, but can't blast through a door.
Stuck by a door.
Stuck by wood. Dal, you might as well get in on this, mate, because I think all the wheels have come off on the reviewing process.
I think so. Fuck it, let's all pile in.
Yes. And the perspective of that thing, when they're looking down on it, and it's like a side view of that thing that's chasing Steve. You're like, no, you could have taken another shot of that, you idiots, but no, you just didn't.
I think that, what we can ascertain from this venture that if your house does indeed get invaded by hovering photocopiers from the future, then make sure that you have the finest MDF making up your doors, because it seems to be laser beam proof.
Yes,
if treated with a walnut oil.
Nice linseed oil.
Nice linseed oil, like they do with cricket bats. Yes, it makes laser beams.
Oh, God.
It makes it more difficult for laser beams to come through. And it's not even hot. Well, of course it's not hot, Jock, because, it's wood and it doesn't really kind of, it's not even wood. It's like chipboard you've got for doors there. And it's not really known for kind of, holding heat after it's been put out, really.
Really?
I don't think so, no. It's not like metal. It's not going to go fucking burn orange or go orange and, retain the heat like that would.
At this point, you're going to criticise the scientific accuracy of this film.
Probably, yes. Well, it's just that, it's obviously stopped and this thing has got away now, obviously. It's not going to be waiting in the fireplace.
That's the funny bit. It's been an hour.
Is it? Really?
That's what they said. It's been an hour, and then he touches the door and he goes, "It's not even hot." Of course, it's not fucking hot. It's been an hour.
Wow. How did you become the head of the Ewing family again? How did you open up a successful oil business, Jock? What's all that? And why are you called Jock? You're not even, what is this? You don't look like the sporty type.
Jim. Go for it.
Yeah, well, what a film.
I mean,
was it a film?
I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure what it was.
I mean, it is worth mentioning at this juncture, before you go too far into it, that we are blaming you entirely for putting up that poster on Twitter, and that's what started me off in the first place.
Yeah, it's all your fault, Jim.
Yeah, it's probably my fault, but you know.
Boo.
You didn't have to put it on the docket. I didn't ask you to.
No, that's true. That is fair.
No, you just use your subliminal
It's
mind
been
tricks.
held as the poor man's close encounters, which might have swung it, so I do hold my hand up to that. The thing is, at the start, that's what it seems like it's going to be. He's going to think, oh, this is going to be to Close Encounters what Mac and Me was to E.T. You think, fine, I can go with that. But then it just sort of goes, wibble.
Wibble.
Just takes two pencils up its nose and put its underpants on its head. It doesn't tell you fuck all. You don't know whether the little green morph from outer space is a good guy or a bad guy. Then we get fucking sort of Dyson's early prototype running amok. And then we got the chess pieces from Star Wars come to sell some Avon round the door. Then none of the timeline makes any sense. We're just thinking, is this deliberate or just really poor continuity? I can't honestly tell. Then the characters have disappeared, reappeared just conveniently, and they say, oh, I've got a feeling it'll be all right. Look at this old map painting we stole off the set of Logan's Run. I think, what? I mean, I like obscure and weird films, but, you know, you've got to give me something to go on, to some sort of, you know, it's like a jigsaw, you know, give me a picture on the box, you know, give me some idea of what I'm aiming for here. The poster's no help. The poster has a young Mads Mikkelsen on it, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, and
it appears.
And it has an alien that was actually painted from an episode of The Twilight Zone.
Yes.
Or is it The Outer Limits? Either way, it's not in this fucking film at all.
I suspect that alien might have been in it and it was cut out, and that's why it's only 80 minutes long.
Why? Don't tell me because the quality wasn't up to snuff. Because that's an excuse.
Copyright issues.
Maybe
they're missing 10 minutes that explains it all. They cut out. I doubt it. But it's one of those you watch it and you're going, I don't know what this is trying to do anymore. Is this some sort of, I don't know, Black Ops Psy experiment?
Probably.
You know, is it some, you know, some strange litmus test and someone's, you know, monitoring the house and taking notes when anyone watches this, and it's like a, you know, a sci-fi fan Rorschach blot.
Maybe it's like the Manchurian Candidate. Someone actually got assassinated after watching this film on CBS. They sort of sat there, watched it, and then all of a sudden they just sort of switched. Next thing you know, they went out and sort of someone higher up the echelons of like some government got toppled by some sleeper agent.
I was going to say whole rafts of sleeper agents came to fruition here when this was broadcast on CBS many years ago.
Yeah, it's all the information is transmitted in those flashes around the house.
Well, that's a more plausible explanation than anything the film gives us to go.
Don't you just love it at the beginning, right? When they turn up at the house, they turn up at this thing, and it's like, yes, this is no expense spared. The finest architects came in and fucking designed this, you cunts. Look, I know you're going to accept this because you've been living in a shoebox for the past 3 weeks, so anything is better than that. Obviously.
Yeah. The whole house has been... I love the fact they said, oh, it's got solar panels and everything. Where?
Yeah.
The fucking...
It's got all mod cons. Here's a horse. What the fuck?
You know, if anybody's ever wondered where the idea for Crime Traveller came from, I think we found the genesis of the idea here.
Crime Traveller genesis.
Let's take a house in the middle of the desert and let's make it jump through time.
But did it jump through time? There was nothing actually to explain that they jumped through time. It was only
some nonsense about some supernovas at the start, which might be a catch-all explanation for everything.
Well, there was three. There was 3 supernovas, wasn't there? And then there was these 3 explosions that you see right at the very beginning. And I thought, okay. And then you see 3 suns at the very end, and I thought, the whole thing's a big circle. Maybe there's a point to all of this. And no. The sun comes up, deposits a woman. She says everything's okay. The sun goes back down over the horizon like the fucking Teletubby sunchild. The Tubby Sunshine. It's like, what?
I think there's probably a germ of an idea in there for
Really?
if you could remake
Ebola?
it, and decent actors in it. You know, just having like an area where this strange interdimensional occurrence happens. Give it a set of proper writers. Don't put Jock Ewing in it. Well, you probably have to reanimate Jock Ewing.
Didn't they do that called The Fantastic Voyage?
It's something like that,
With
yeah.
Jared, what's his name, and his tuning fork.
Yeah, they had that. There was also, there was a made for Netflix movie, I think, as well, about an office block that appears. It's always in the same position, no matter which dimension it goes into.
Right.
It's always in the same.
And that's in Netflix, is it?
That's I think it's either a Netflix or it was an Amazon one. I can't remember what it was called. But it goes to different parallel universes, but it's always in the same area. Right. It's always in the same position.
Is it called time? Is it called time?
Time building.
Time building.
Time building. Building of time.
Well, I'm noticing like nonsensical but fully explanatory sort of titles are now the thing, seeing as there's a poster on the walls of like underground stations for something called Hurricane Heist. Guess what it's about?
It's made by the people who made you Fast and Furious.
Yeah, but it's about a heist in a hurricane.
Yes, it is. Maybe they're robbing hurricanes. Maybe they're mugging them. They wait for hurricanes to appear, and then they pull a knife on them, and they give us all your money.
We wait until the hurricane blows all the money all over the place, and with our Hoover, we shall suck it up.
Yes, we shall. Ah.
But anyway, the day that time ended, what did you think, Dal?
What did I think?
I'm trying desperately to stick to some sort of format. I know I didn't really sort of wait for Elton or Jim to stop. I just kind of.
I still don't know what happened in it. I just don't understand it.
I like the way that people suddenly change. Like they get this injection of knowledge, right? In this film, it happens twice, right? Okay, because you've got Jock Ewing. Right, who suddenly becomes a metaphysicist there, who understands time warps. Yeah. Right, you know, he
becomes part of the Q continuum.
He certainly does. He suddenly, you know what this is, didn't you? And you're thinking, oh, he's going to come out with like, you know, he's going to say, oh, this is the devil's work, and he's like, this is a time warp. This is a warping of time and space, and it's just like, fucking hell. What education just hit you on the head or something?
I was going to say he can't even cook steaks properly, and yet somehow he's he's now fucking Brian Cox.
He is fucking Brian Cox. And then you've got little Miss Flappy McFlappy Pants, the daughter who's basically Jenny. You know Jenny. Are they both called Jenny? Are they both called Jenny, the daughter and the granddaughter?
No, the daughter is called Beth.
Beth, that's it. Beth, and right, okay, so you got Beth, right, okay,
yeah,
who's, you know, flapping but flappy pants, who's just panicking at everything, right? And then all of a sudden, when they meet up with her after she disappears up her own arsehole,
own wind tunnel,
yeah, she appears again, and suddenly she's talking slightly differently. Oh yes, this is it is okay. Do not worry, parents of mine, for it will be fine. Everything is all right.
I have spoken to them I understand everything.
No, I'm not an alien that's taken over your daughter's body. Not at all. I'm not going to eat your earwax while you are sleeping. No.
Erased.
I'm not going to melt off your face. No, not at all. No, I am your daughter.
And where's Jenny? She is safe.
Yes, she's safe.
Here she is
in my belly. I mean, over there. Honest, I didn't eat your granddaughter.
Yes.
Boop. Nope, not at all.
As a doll comes out of it.
And I didn't wash her down with a nice Chianti and fava beans.
So...
yeah. Adventures in time and space, and somebody's 2 up, 2 down. That's basically it. Did it look like it actually had an upstairs, that house?
No. Not from the outside it didn't.
It didn't. No. did it?
No, it didn't. No.
No, it was a hut.
It was a hut. It was a. What do they call it? What do they call the
a hut?
No, it was
bungalow.
Not a tent, not a hut, but
a yurt.
A yurt. That was it. It was a yurt. It was a yurt being held up with Dairy Lee cream slices, or the triangles. That's it, with Dairy Lee triangles plugged on the side to stop it from falling over.
Yeah.
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 Not impressed.
Not impressed.
No. Like I say, I think there was a German of an idea in it, and I'm thinking that maybe looking at it that
don't say that it needs a remake.
No, I said this is the sort of thing you need to fucking remake shit like this, not the good stuff that we really remake it into shit. You need to take shit like this and remake that into good stuff. That's what you need to do, right? This is how we should. This is what we should be remaking. We should be remaking, as in, sort of like just trying to cover up the sins of cinematic past by taking
paving over it,
killing off the original, burying it in your garden, or preferably various other gardens after you've chopped it up, right? With the plastic sheeting down, okay,
salted the earth,
or maybe an acid bath. Then grind the bones down, chuck that all over your garden for sort of like, fertiliser and that. The police don't know what's happened to it. Hello, we're the TV police. We understand that a film was murdered round here a little while ago, and it's all pointing towards your gaff.
And you just stand there going, no, I have spoken with them, and everything will be fine.
Fear not, officer. It will be all right. Everything's going to be fine. Thumbs up. Fab Ducky. Thumbs aloft.
Yes, I am.
Look, I'm holding up my thumbs. This shows you it's the seal of approval. It's the seal that everything. This is the the intergalactic sign that everything is going to be all right. And you don't. These are not the bones you're looking for.
Let's make it again.
Yes. I'm building shit now. Fuck off.
So not impressed.
I'm not going to watch it again. No.
No.
Put it like that.
No.
No.
I pretend to be surprised. There you go.
What did I say? That it was still better than something that we watched?
Still a better love story than Twilight.
Yeah, still a better love story than Twilight.
Can I just make one quick query about the whole thing?
No, you can't, because it will be all right. Don't fear not, Mr. Metcalf, for it will be fine.
No, what is it?
Shut up, that's why.
What is it about films which are really, really super cheap, and when they see something amazing, doesn't matter what it is, they always take 2 steps. It always cuts back to them taking 2 steps forward to sort of see it a little bit clearer.
Or what, jamming their fingers into various holes and wondering why they get their fucking face bitten off.
It's like filming
Space butterfly.
We just seen a UFO.
No, yeah, exactly. We just see a UFO, and it's like when they see it, they just kind of like take 2 steps forward.
Hold on. There's someone at the door. Lee, do you want to get that?
Hello, I'm Mr. Turtlezilla.
What can I do for you, Mr. Turtlezilla? Nice of you to come round finally and introduce yourself.
I would like to sell you a complete set of dodgy DVDs of the Charles S. Brand collection.
I would love to buy them. Do you have any pegs you want to sell me as well?
Yes, and some dishcloths. Would you like some dishcloths?
Are you offering a shoe shine service, sir?
I am, and I'll do your patio too.
Ah, good.
Would you like your car washed?
Yes, I would.
Okay, I can do turtle wax.
You can... where are you getting... No, I'm not even going to ask where you're getting your turtle wax from.
I'm going to go now.
Okay.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Anyway.
He was a rum chap.
I bought 47 dry gloves off him. And had some rubber gloves. But it's just... Everything about this was inept. Can I ask another question? Which is definitely a shut up, that's why. How come...
Shut up, that's why.
How come old Jock Ewing...
Uh-huh.
How come he was some metaphysical creature living godlike between all the universes at the beginning with the Starfield when he goes,
that would be
time is before and time is after and after
You
days.
know how they say the time sequential. Now I'm selling ripped on.
Yeah.
Go get 'em, Tiger. You know how they say time is sequential, like the next day is preceded by the previous day, and the next
Day after
week
that.
is preceded by the previous week.
But
I'm not sure where I'm going with this.
Exactly. And then he goes, well, it's not.
So shut up.
Time is a
Make
continuum.
my tea.
Yeah, exactly. Time is a continuum. Excuse me, continuum means one thing after another, as in continue.
Yes. Continue.
So you
Does it continue? That's probably what he meant. It's a continuum. It's the Q continuum.
Do I continue? Do you continue? Have we been here before? Everything about this film was just utterly inept. The only thing that made me laugh was the Rubber Monsters flappy hand fighting thing that was just so utterly random. I couldn't stop laughing. I genuinely, it's the best laugh I've had in a very long time. I was trying to hold it in on the train, which made it even worse. Because I'm sitting there and it's just Jock Ewing coming out of the house and there's a 600-foot high gorilla with multiple nipples and a teeny tiny penis.
I fear he's nippleage.
And then all of a sudden it's
That's a lot of nipples.
and then when it comes to him and then it cuts away and then all of a sudden Captain Turtlezilla. Hello, Turtlezilla. Yeah, he turns up.
Young Jennifer, avert your eyes. Do not look at the major nippleage that is on the horizon.
And
there.
it just was it's like two sponges being slowly, boringly pushed together. Just. And it cuts back to him again, and Jock's reaction is to walk to the shed and check on the horses. It's like no one in this film has even the remotest, closest, decent human reaction to anything.
Do you know, I've got to say, when it comes to the stop motion animation, I'm sure that when they first started playing this on air, that these days, the grave of Ray Harryhausen sounds like a B-52 bomber starting up its propeller blades, because that's how fast he's spinning.
Sounds like thrash metal.
Exactly.
But
what's that string buzzing noise? Oh, that'll be Ray Harryhausen. They must be showing the daytime ended again.
the fucking thing with the green light. What was all that about? Walking just like
the green pyramid she makes friends with.
She makes friends with
the pyramid.
The bathroom light.
Yeah, the bathroom light, the on-off tap. What?
All the mod cons.
Yeah, all the mod cons. But then also the bit when Jock and Dorothy Malone come down the stairs, turn off the kitchen light, and it glows green. And he goes, hold on. Click, 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 click. And he flicks the switch about 20 times, and then he goes, that's fixed it. And he's like, I'll deal with it in the morning. He's like, fucker, the room was luminous green. Have you got a luminous green light in your house?
Do you know what his explanation for that was?
What?
It must be the solar panels.
Yeah.
Yeah, she alluded to that, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, don't worry about that, darling. But just you didn't really want your hair, did you?
No.
Yeah, or your teeth.
No.
Or your stomach lining, because from the radiation you're getting from this shit, you're not going to have any by the time you wake up tomorrow.
Yeah, you're about to lose 17 stone in weight.
Yep, you are.
You've
seen Threads, haven't you? Yeah, well, there you go.
And the other thing was, and this is a fun game to play.
Go on then.
Whenever something crazy happened, old Jock comes running out with his gun, proven to be ineffective at least 3 times. But he comes out and he calls Stephen, the younger son, and every time Stephen starts his scene by pulling on a shirt and pulling his pants up. It's like, how many times was Stephen trying to knock one
I
out?
was going to say.
And it's like, oh, Dad, fuck's sake. And the other thing, what's his name? Mitchum. His entire plot is turns up, delivers his whole family to a yurt in the middle of the Atacama Desert.
Yeah. Fuck you, I'm going back to civilization.
Fucks off to New York, because that's great. You can drive all the way there in like half an hour, apparently.
Yep.
And he gets there, he sees some thunder and lightning, decides to drive all the way back, meets Edward James Olmos at the fucking petrol station.
Is that who it was?
That's who it was. Edward James Olmos. Bloody Gaff from Blade Runner and Commander Adama from Battlestar Galactica was essentially the most qualified actor in it, and he had about 6 lines involving a pump.
He paid $10 for petrol as well.
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah, 10
sodding dollars.
I reckon that was about 12 gallons. So here, I reckon $10. It's like, really? 12 gallons? It's like, who? What?
Wait, it's about 7. He said, keep the change.
Yeah, he goes, $7. It's 10. Just keep the change. And
I would have said, look to that, God, you cheeky cunt.
Yeah. I was going to say,
keep the change, what? 25p?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're really rocking the high life now.
That's going to put my kids through college. No problem.
No mistake. And then, old Mitchum, he drives all the way back to the house, watches the house disappear.
Yep.
That's about it. That's his entire storyline. His entire storyline is drive to New York, look at thunderstorm, drive back, get some petrol from Edward James Olmos, crash into a rock, and watch a house disappear. That's it. That's his entire job.
Well, there was the bits at the beginning when sort of like, they keep cutting to him back in his office. Are the planes flying yet? No? Okay. Keep me informed. I think there was one bit where it just cut to him just sitting there going... and then he come back again.
Cut back to him making paper aeroplanes. Go, woo! sitting there twiddling, digging his ear out with a pencil, going, oh, that's the stuff.
Finally, he's sort of like, he's 5 megaseconds. Modem. His dial up. It's downloaded, and it's like, there we go, undo.
My downloaded picture of Catherine Janeway is taking 7.5 hours to download.
Do you know a bit that made me laugh?
Go on.
It was the bit where you had all the swirly stuff around the house, and the kids like, walking towards it and growing up as she's walking towards it. But after all that happens, he walks outside, and all the aliens have just left their shit everywhere. There's just old planes and old diggers and old shit everywhere.
There's a few things with guns on them to show they was from the future.
That's because they did that bit in Close Encounters, don't you know?
Yes, they did.
But it just seemed like someone just it was just why? The whole thing was just summed up in the word why.
It's all because time, as we thought, was once sequential.
It's now a continuum, which is also sequential.
I don't think you know what that word means.
Yeah, that word does not mean what I think you think it means. You keep using it. The aliens, what do? They turn up, do some figure eights in the sky, and fuck off. That's it. Oh, drop a couple of foam rubber sponges that were cut into the shape of various farmyard animals and smash them together. The horses, there's the best line. I really wish a best line for anything was basically not an actual line. It was a horse. When Jock walks into the shed with all the horses, he walks in and he's looking around with the lights, and the lights are going off and on, and he's wandering around with his gun everywhere. And the horses all start going, and you get the sense that what they wanted was for it to sound like the horses were panicked. But what it sounded like was all the horses had just shared a joke at Jock's expense and started laughing all around the stable.
Yep.
They're all just going like that, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm with you.
I've got to look
I'm
up.
with you, horses."
I've got to look up this bloke's, filmography.
What, Jock Ewing?
man.
Jock
walks into a
Ewing,
bar.
old man Ewing, just to find out
Jim Davis.
what he was in.
I don't know, but whatever it was,
It's nothing.
it's nothing. I mean, why focus on the house? Why? What made me laugh as always was they sort of spent 10 minutes trying to get close to a car that started, and then the kid tells the car to stop misbehaving. Meanwhile, they're all standing there going, yeah, if we take off the distributor cap. It's like, the car's fucking running. Have you tried taking off a distributor cap when the car's running? You're going to end up with a fucking thing up your arm. You're going to take your hand off. Yeah, I know. Let's try and unplug the battery. I know. Let's try and stick my hand in the camshaft or something. They were just doing all sorts of... It was like people who'd never, ever seen a car before suddenly
And it was
going...
leaning on Poltergeist as well, wasn't it? With the little kid talking to the car.
Yeah, well, the thing is with that, you see, you can't really use that because Poltergeist was 82 and this came out in 80. But, yeah, I mean, maybe that's it. Maybe Giles Brand is going to try and sue Toby Hooper and Steven Spielberg for that. Try and make a bit of money. But... the fact that they're all like, there's Jock going, oh yeah, I'll circle around to the left and you circle around to the right. It's a fucking car. There is nothing in it. You're being super cautious about a car that's just idling away in your drive. And yet, when the kitchen was glowing green like the fucking Incredible Hulk had a sun lamp on his bollocks, that didn't bother you. Just turn the light on and off a couple of times, that's fine.
Just shining a mag light through his scrotum.
Yeah, just having one of those sort of like, everyone's done it. It's just like, Hulk make green light. And
Everyone's put a torch underneath their thumb and gone, oh, look, it's all red. And he's just getting his scrotum out and going, yeah, look at this, green.
Yeah. Hulk make a big green tinted glow ball. Just that. Oh, Jim's like, just switch the light off, switch it back on. That's fine. I'll sort it in the morning. Car starts up. Ooh, spooky shit. Really? That's the spooky shit? You're being attacked. You're being attacked by a fucking Polaroid camera with some dodgy aerial arms that can phase through windows, and then it can't shoot through a fucking melamite door. It's just like
when old Jock is trying to leave the room, and he says to them, drag that dresser over here and block the door when I leave the room.
Yeah.
And they must have just looked at, what now? You're leaving the room now? Yes, yeah. I'm leaving the room now, but I had to say I'm leaving the room now to emphasise the fact that I am now leaving the room.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. And the whole thing of suddenly whizzing time forward to make daylight. Why? I don't know. I mean, it's the same thing as when they're all they're standing out in the desert, and then all of a sudden those two fucking great obvious spaceships fly overhead, and they're both looking at it going, you know what we've seen? Some UFOs. And then they go in the house, and then you see this whole sequence of them getting ready for bed, and, glowing green fucking kitchen lights and whatnot, and they all get into bed, and it's like, well, we've seen some UFOs. And she's like, yeah. He's like, right. And the best line of the entire film for me was he goes, right. Turns the light off and he goes, and you can check this up. They go to bed and he turns the light off. And as he turns the light off, he goes, give me your hand. He's like, wow, that's kind of random.
Not again.
Yeah, he's just like, give me your hand. It's like, that's probably supposed to sound more romantic than what it actually sounded like, which is basically...
Hey, little lady, do you want to dig for oil?
Yeah. Hey, do you remember how you like that shaky weighty?
Hey.
Give me your hand.
Come pump for some gas.
It's like, what a random
you struck
one.
gold.
My name's Mr. Petrol.
You want some liquid gold?
It's just like such a random fucking word. Light goes out, give me your hand. What? Just like, wow, Jock. Wait to take it from 0 to 600. You've seen a UFO. That's your trigger, is it? That's your kickoff.
Let's all try that tonight. Let's all go back to our beds tonight and just wake the missus up and go, give me your hand.
We've seen a UFO. Anyway, good night. Turn the light off. Give me your hand. What are you going to do with it? Fuck off.
What we normally do when we see a UFO.
Let's all practice skiing. What the fuck?
Now, what I want you to imagine is you're flying a 747 and you've got to bring it into land. Well, you can use
that yoke.
Yeah. Here, put your hand around this joystick. No, I know it's dark. I know you can't see a thing, but the theater of the mind is an amazing thing.
No, don't dive. Don't dive. He's like, don't throttle up. No, this is not the throttle.
Oh, I think you're about to experience a fuel leak.
Hold on.
Sorry to interrupt. Would anybody like some tea towels?
Jockwood.
What was with the ice skating interpretive dance alien? 6-inch thing floating about with the kid.
Ah.
Why did
I don't know, I couldn't work out, was he a good guy? Was he a bad guy? Are we rooting for the Hoover? Rooting for him? Are we rooting for the door-to-door salesman?
Well, there was that one scene where he's at the end of the bed, right? The woman's looking at him, the missus there, and he's pointing at stuff, and I think he was the manifestation of the audience, because he's sitting there going, what the fuck is that? What the fuck? What is going on?
Yeah.
Why is that orange or green?
Yeah.
What the thing there?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Getting serious a little bit, though. With these aliens, are we expected to think that each alien race came from each supernova area?
I think you've put far too much thought into this already. You put more thought into it than the bloody writers did.
Well, you had the Betamax flying thing coming through the window, so that will.
I am the superior format.
Hello, would you like to buy some DVDs? Hello? Are you in there? I can see the lights on. It's green light.
Times are hard.
Times are hard when you are the top turtle. Nobody wants a polish anymore. Fucking sealed coating. Fucking metallic paint. Hello? Are you in there?
That wouldn't explain why you got the 3 suns at the end of the film. And you had that massive moon in the sky as well, didn't you?
Because apparently in the future, the moon is going to grow very big.
Which didn't explain why behind old Jock, where they were clearly filming at the end of the day, the moon was clearly visible over his shoulder and being normal moon-sized.
Well,
Yeah.
that... Was the Earth moved then? This is what I don't understand about this.
Oh, this is the bit you don't understand. This is the bit.
Well, no, everything leading up to this bit and this bit. But the house is bobbling around in what we think is time and space, and yet it comes back, and then the guy who hasn't been floating around in time comes back with a horse and a kid. And
I went into the future and I bought a horse.
Are they on the same planet? Has that planet moved? What the fuck is going on?
I think that's the key. What the fuck is going on is pretty much the only question that needs to be asked from start to finish.
The only thing missing is a massive Monty Python foot just coming down at the very end going...
That was a post-credit sequence. Didn't you stay for that bit?
No.
I'd like to talk to you about the Foot Initiative. Samuel L. Jackson turns up. Splat. Actually, that reminds me, I did watch that. I watched Hitman's Bodyguard. That's another bit of the week. I'm just changing subject now.
Is it any good?
It's all right.
Oh, okay.
It's just it made the word motherfucker completely nonsensical to me now. It managed to totally ruin that word for me, and it was boring. Basically, it was two actors basically doing the worst versions of themselves in every other film. Which is a better review than Daytime Stood Still or Time Ended or whatever. Are we done with this fucking film?
Let's get the Facebook group. What did our lovely listeners make of it?
Good move, Jim. Good move. Stick to the script. I like it. Nice. Well, actually, we had some interesting versions here. Let's listen to this. Right, here we go. Right, so. Right, we get down past the stuff. Tracy Barker said of Drew and Tracy post feedback fame.
Of drewandtracy.com.
Drewandtracy.com, yeah. Said, and I quote, "That was fucking painful." And then Duck Cartwright said, "Tread barefoot on Lego painful," and to which she replied, "Worse." I think that's fair. Alan Wilby said, "This is my favourite movie. I'm sorry I have a cold." Steve Bob said, "It's the day the whole family took LSD," which makes perfect sense. If they were all on they were all off their knockers, then I think that was it. If they were off their mash. Teresa Frog Stomper Bowles, what the living fuck did I just watch? Did anyone understand that? Yeah. Steve Bob also mentions Morph did some really bad films before he got his final breakthrough role with Tony Hart. Oh, hold on. This is a good one. From Union Jack Woodgate.
Yeah.
I've got a rule from here on in. Any films like this are actually part of the Cloverfield universe.
I would say yes.
Actually, do you know what? This could be a Cloverfield Paradox prequel or sequel or both, because they're both in the same continuum.
Oh, not at all.
Or
that was the sound of our minds, but both our minds, collective minds, being blown. Yeah. Or maybe it was the sound of us blowing our minds out.
Yeah, exactly.
With the, from the barrel of a 357 Magnum.
I was trying to irradiate my own head with a remote control infrared controller. Didn't work. Not bad trying, though. Batteries ran out. And actually, Martin Thompson agrees with him. He says, "I thought exactly the same thing." And Jack continues, "Yeah, just tack on the end scene from Cloverfield Paradox and stick it on YouTube and you'll be sorted." Which is actually very true. If you just suddenly had a 600-foot high guppy fish monster thing come out of the clouds at the end randomly, I don't think it would be out of place. No, it wouldn't.
If anything, more in place in this movie because you've already seen Aliens and Monsters.
Indeed. True. Indeed. It's got more continuum, which is obviously a sequence of things one after the other, than the Cloverfield one. Right. Okay. Right. Fred Lubnow of Lovecraftianscience.wordpress.com comes out with the following. Okay, any movie that has stop motion animation gets some points in my book. And any Charles Band movie is bound to have a large helping of cheese. But overall, this movie was kind of boring at times and slightly entertaining with some fleeting instances. It was weird. The family just embraced their situation at the end of the film. Not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination, but hey, it was better than Kirk Cameron's Christmas movie. Not sure that's a plus, to be honest. While Alan Bilby says, and here we go, feel free to wade in on this bit. Not the shit fest I was expecting, to be honest. It had spaceships, aliens, and dinosaurs. Did the dinosaur knock on the door? Yes, it did. Yes, it did, as we have illustrated multiple times tonight. And the woman answered and then screamed and then slammed the door in its face. Well, that's a big win for me. And it was made 2 years after Star Wars, but light years away from the cheesy effects. In the worst way, I might add. It had the greatest ever quote at the end. Honey, you know something? Maybe this was all meant to be. Maybe this is our new life. Thanks, Lee, for getting us to watch this film we'd never normally see. Brilliant.
I don't know.
Samaritans.org. That's all I'm saying. Samaritans.org. Just remember, suicide can take us all in various different ways.
Pass me that bottle of tablets.
Yeah, all right. Happy to. You know, there's Sanatogens.
Fine, that might pick my mood up.
Martin Thompson also said, this is one of those films that could be remade. There you go, Dal. As Jack said, and it could be part of the Cloverfield universe. It was just a bunch of random shit that happened, and some interesting ideas, though. Couldn't believe it was made as late as 1979, though, especially with such crappy effects. Actually, it was made in 1980. Charles Brand was the Roger Corman of his day. Teresa does like the decor of the house, especially the British paint logos. Jeffrey Mark Heineman, said that this was certainly an interesting film, to say the least. It's rare that a film is brave enough to raise so many interesting questions and not answer any of them, or maybe it was just sheer incompetence. And what was good to see the monsters from the Millennium Falcon's chess game get a bigger role. While finally, he says, desperately trying to get onto Twitter. On Twitter, at Black Dog Podcast, we have the Orgs, who also turned up and said, and I quote, the day that time ended leaves you with so many questions. Primarily, why did anybody bother to make it in the first place? Which got a reply from the Slumgullion group, which said, as the boys are fond of saying, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. And I think that's a great place to leave it there. The day that time ended. Shitbox.
Is that the subtitle?
Yeah, that's the sequel. The Cloverfield Paradox 2, The Day the Time Ended. Or is it the Cloverfield Paradox prequel? Ooh. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. We're done. I think we're done. So, it's just down to us to tell you what we're going to do next week. And then do usual sort of goodbyes and whatnot, and have, see what everyone else is doing on their own particular feeds. So, next week, interesting one. This was going to be our 350th episode, because we were planning on doing a film that we'd done before, prior to Jim and Elton coming on board. So, reviewing it with the full team, so to speak. It was one of the three that came up in our random number generator. Luckily for Elton, it was Princess Bride. But one other one that came up, and one that we had to basically back off, was because we couldn't find it anywhere, because I only had one copy, and now finding it on Netflix and Amazon and whatnot is really bloody hard. But we found it. It's been found. And so we decided we're going to do it anyway, because the film we're going to watch is Audition, a Korean movie, I believe. Or is it Korean or Japanese? I can never remember.
I think it's Korean.
Or is it Takashi Miike? Japanese. Takashi Miike, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so it's Japanese. Okay, fine. So it's Takashi Miike film about a man looking for love
in all the wrong places.
Just that's all you got to know. a man looking for love, and that's that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got
Doesn't sound too bad.
No, and it's got a kind of... It's kind of relevant to today's stuff because, you know, adding a little to the drama is the fact that the man is a TV producer and he uses auditions of the title to find love. So you can read a lot into that, I guess, especially in these kind of post-Weinstein days. So, Jim, have you seen Audition?
Yes, I have.
Are you looking forward to seeing it again? Darren. Okay. Darren, you've seen Audition because we already reviewed it.
That's right.
Are you looking forward to seeing it again?
This is the funny thing. I think my brain's blotted out the actual last time I saw it. So I'm guessing, if I have to be honest, probably no.
It was, in fairness, it was 9 years ago when we watched this.
Jesus.
We watched this 9 years ago. So, Elton, you haven't actually seen this.
No, I haven't seen this. I have no clue whatsoever what I'm going into. What you've just told me today in that build-up to it is all that I know about it.
Brilliant. In which case, don't read any reviews.
No.
Don't read anything that anyone says on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/group/The Black Dog Podcast. Just watch it. Give us your raw, cold watching, view of it.
Is this going to require a second viewing, or do you think I'll just watch it and then that'll be it? I won't have to watch it again.
I think it's one of those films that you'll either dig and you'll want to watch it again to see how everything pans out.
Okay.
Or you'll watch it and you'll be like, thanks very much. I have seen all I need to see. I feel no need to watch this drama play out again.
Okay. I'm intrigued now.
I'm interested in how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
I have seen this film several times. Each time I've left it a few years. But I think that's because it's a story with some impact. And so, it's always best to just give it some breathing room before you come back to it again. And that's it. That's all I'm going to say about it. So, before we go, I'm looking forward to seeing that. Next week, we will be recording on Wednesday, due to the fact that I'm off to see Ed Byrne on Tuesday. And I will be down in Bristol on Monday. So, it's all a bit up in the air.
Yeah.
So we won't be able to record until next Wednesday. But anyway, before we go, Jim, do you want to tell us a little bit about this week's Hypnagoria and what's coming up, sir?
Yes, this week I'm rounding off my season on aquatic horrors with a reading of H.P. Lovecraft's Dagon.
Nice.
And next week, I think I'm starting a series of little short one-off reviews. So I've just done a 6-part series.
Yeah.
I'm going to round up a few interesting things like Veronica, The Ritual, Paperbacks from Hell, and maybe a few other things.
Nice. That's good. I'm liking the sound of that. And by the way, I'd just like to say, love Dagon because that was the first ever Lovecraft short story I read. And your
very
reading,
nice.
Your reading
was
was
the first
very
I
good.
read as well, and I used the word gibbous in any essay I could for about a month afterwards.
Nice. Cool. And, right, okay, so over to you then, Elton. What about you, sir?
Well, everything that I do at the moment is over at road2media.com. You can find the From the Earth to the Moon podcast, Grand Prix podcast, and Shonky Lab. And tomorrow night, which is the 4th of April, we will be going live. Mr. Medcalf is joining me.
Hello.
And Scott Copperman is joining me.
Ooh.
for a talk about reboots, movie reboots, and are they necessary? Are they good? Do they bring anything to the table? So just a round table about that.
Brilliant. Look forward
Almost
to
a reboot of Apotheosis of a Bombast, you might say.
Ironically, yes.
Wow.
Wow, that's something I haven't heard of for a while there.
That's a name I've not heard in a long time.
It's more machine now than podcast.
Twisted and evil.
Anyway, cool. Okay, so we'll all be live on Mixler, isn't it? Mixler.
Yep, you go to mixler.com/Road2Media around about, I think it's going to be about 9 o'clock, but keep an eye on the Facebook group if you wish.
Brilliant. Well, I look forward to taking part in that. It'll be good fun, sir. Cool. Okay, so until next time, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Elton. Thank you, Darren.
No problem.
And we shall, we shall see you all next time for audition. And it should be an interesting discussion. I think that's best to say. So until next time, take care. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you all soon. Till then, tatty bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Ta-da!
Kitty, 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 kitty.
Oh, bollocks to it.